Welcome to Scandalous Truths, the podcast where we dive into the untold, the scandalous, and the downright unbelievable stories that people just can't keep to themselves. Today we're unpacking a story that will leave you questioning trust, boundaries, and how far is too far in a relationship. It's a tale of love, betrayal, and the dangers of taking open marriages too lightly. Let's get into the jaw-dropping story of how a hidden camera uncovered a husband's shocking betrayal with his wife's best friend. Our story begins with a couple we'll call Emily and Jake. They've been married for 5 years, and like most marriages, theirs had its ups and downs. But one major issue kept coming up in their arguments. Emily felt like the passion in their marriage was fading. Jake, on the other hand, was growing frustrated with Emily's increasing closeness to her best friend, Carly. After one heated discussion, Emily proposed something unexpected: an open marriage. "I thought if we opened things up, it would reignite the spark. I wanted us to explore, but always with boundaries. It wasn't about replacing each other, it was about spicing things up. And I never thought he'd actually go for it." To Emily's surprise, Jake agreed. They set strict rules: no mutual friends, no sneaking around, and absolute honesty. It sounded simple enough, right? But what Emily didn't know was that Jake had his eye on someone all along, someone much closer than she ever imagined. At first, things seemed to be working. Emily started going on casual dates, feeling empowered and excited about the new dynamics in her marriage. Jake, however, wasn't as forthcoming about his side of things. "I'd ask him if he was seeing anyone, and he'd always brush it off. Nothing serious, he'd say. But his phone was glued to him, and he started coming home later than usual." Emily's suspicions grew. Then came the turning point. Carly, her best friend and confidant, began acting strangely too. She canceled their plans last minute or seemed distracted when they were together. "It felt like she was avoiding me. And when she was around Jake, there was this weird tension. I couldn't put my finger on it, but something was off." That's when Emily decided to take matters into her own hands. If Jake wasn't going to be honest, she'd find out the truth herself. Emily bought a small, discreet hidden camera and placed it in the living room, right where Jake and Carly would often hang out during group gatherings. She didn't want to jump to conclusions, but deep down, she feared what she might uncover. Days turned into weeks, and nothing seemed out of the ordinary. But then, one Friday night, everything changed. I was at a friend's house, and Jake said he was staying in. Carly had canceled our plans again, claiming she wasn't feeling well. Something told me to check the camera. Emily logged into the camera's feed from her phone, and what she saw shattered her world. They were on the couch, laughing, flirting, and then they kissed. I couldn't breathe. My best friend and my husband. It felt like a nightmare I couldn't wake up from. Emily didn't confront them right away. She wanted to gather her thoughts and the courage. The next morning, she asked Jake if anything had happened while she was out. Nothing much. Just watched a movie and went to bed early. That lie was the final straw. Emily decided to confront Jake and Carly together. She called Carly over, pretending nothing was wrong. Once they were both in the room, she played the footage. I'll never forget the look on their faces. Carly started crying, and Jake just sat there, stunned. He didn't even try to deny it. Carly apologized, claiming it was a one-time mistake. Jake, however, admitted to having feelings for Carly and confessed that their affair had been going on for months, long before the open marriage agreement. Emily ended her marriage to Jake and cut ties with Carly. But the betrayal left scars that took years to heal. It wasn't just about the affair. It was the deception, the betrayal of trust from two people I loved most. I thought an open marriage would strengthen us, but instead, it showed me how fragile our foundation really was. Emily's story serves as a cautionary tale about the complexities of open relationships and the importance of trust and communication. What started as an attempt to save her marriage turned into a lesson about self-worth and boundaries. So what do you think? Was Emily wrong to propose an open marriage? Or did Jake and Carly's betrayal cross a line that no agreement could justify? Let us know your thoughts by leaving a comment or sharing your story. And remember, the truth has a way of coming out, whether through a hidden camera or in ways we least expect. Thanks for tuning into Scandalous Truths. I'm your host, and I'll see you next time for another tale you won't believe, but can't stop thinking about.